E-waste is an issue that you probably have heard about, but not necessarily thought about. And that's fine, since you probably don't contribute all too much to the issue. Like, think. When was the last time you bought a new toaster or a fridge? But this documentary isn't going to be touching upon that type of e-waste. We're going to be talking about a type of e-waste you do contribute to, or at least I'm fairly certain you do. And it's not your fault. I'm talking about phones. You probably have one. Purse, pocket, bag. I want you to reflect on how many phones you have had in your lifetime. Depending on the type of life you live, it might be few or many. Have any of them broken? Fully, I mean. Casing fully out to pour the phone's innards out. Probably few, right? How many of them were just replaced? Thrown in some cabinet because the software was too slow or just because it was outdated? Or maybe it did break, and you took it to the Genius Bar to get it fixed, and they took one cursory glance and told you to buy a new one. That is very intentional. Tech companies like Apple, Android, and now Google intentionally make it difficult to repair products, even though it is cheaper for the consumer and better for combating e-waste, all in the name of profit. Since these companies aren't stupid, they know that a lot of people's work and entire lives revolve around their tech. And they know you can't afford to go without a phone. They are literally holding your livelihood hostage.
So my name is Jean-Paul Arsenault. I teach environmental science and freshman science here at Portsmouth High School.
Along with making it almost impossible to fix your phone, as Apple's software can detect a non-Apple part and destroy itself, called Error 53.
I also teach some engineering courses. As far as e-waste goes, kind of through environmental science, but also with the Green Club, we have set up e-waste drives. We run 3 or 4 each year, and that is in partnership with the town of Portsmouth, as well as Indie Cycle, which is the name of the company that we give all of our waste to. So I think the last time, I haven't asked in a couple of years, but I think the last time we asked, it was, upwards of 30,000 pounds. Is that right? I think that's about right. Yeah, so they pull in a lot each year.
How would you recommend someone handle technology that is like dead in their home, like technology that's no longer working?
So what I suggest to people is they find a box in their garage or their basement and just collect it. Anything that has a battery or a cord has some components to it that can be recycled. So you're way better off saving it for some type of an e-waste drive as opposed to sending it to the landfill, which eventually drains into the land and, poisons the water and the earth and all of that. The thing with these drives is that they're also run, or the other people that run them include like the landfill. So the Johnson landfill or the Rhode Island Resource Recovery Center, they will also run these drives because the biggest thing is to avoid throwing all this stuff into the landfill.
Yeah. A large part of why technology is so great is that when broken, it can be fixed via swapping out parts. It has worked this way since the dawn of electronics. Apple was making that insanely hard through lobbying and loopholes. Apple spent $9 million on lobbying in 2022 to make it illegal to sell and manufacture parts for Apple products and instructions for those parts. And after they were pressured to allow access by governmental bodies and shareholders, they introduced parts pairing. Parts pairing is a tactic that prevents the swapping of broken parts for new ones through software that basically confirms that the used parts are both from the iPhone and are not third-party parts. If the software detects a third-party part, it shuts off certain necessary features of the phone. If you don't want your phone to be half of the phone it once was because the home button was a little sticky, buy a new one. Even if you stick by your old phone, as I have, you still might be in danger of losing it. No matter if you buy the cushiest case around or the most resilient screen protector, your phone is designed to kill itself. In the lawsuit Crittenden v. Apple Incorporated, Crittenden reportedly kept updating his phone, and soon after, his phone suffered poor battery life and slower performance. This is across but not limited to iOS 14.5, 14.5.1, and 14.6 to damage iPhone models 11, 12, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. Because you can do nothing with an old phone that is dumbed down through years of updates that intentionally kill the battery and slow down the operations, consumers throw away their old phones en masse, leading to millions of phones thrown into landfills, contributing to a major e-waste crisis every single day. The e-waste crisis that Apple is significantly contributing to willfully.
So, this is going to be a little demonstration, almost. I just wanted to fully see how fast and how bad old phones are. This is a iPhone S. Very old. It has one camera. So we're going to be testing how fast the battery dies and how terrible the loading times and software is. So if we just boot in, it's my dad's old phone. Have no service. In just the time of me setting up the camera and all the mics, has gone down by 12%. 11%? 12%. There's a lot of apps on here. Like I said, it's my dad's phone. So we're just going to be, it's gone down 1%. It's been 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm probably going to time lapse this to show how fast it dies. But I might not even have to do that. Oh, it's also reading PM. It's AM. That's so weird. So we're going to try and load into some apps. It scrolls just fine, but let's try and load into Zoom. Okay. Yep, okay. So it works quite well. It's not, the operations aren't terribly slow. When I was working with this and trying to get it charged, which took a very long time, by the way, it's gone down 7% in 2 minutes. It took a while to boot up, but now that it's up and working, it seems to be quite well.
But where did all of this start? Apple didn't create the idea, they simply took it from a little company called John Deere. They, like Apple, made it difficult to get documentation about their products in the name of profit. They're also holding livelihoods hostage as they required specialists to fix the product instead of the consumer, which was costly and delayed harvests, impacting the output of the farmer. Notice how I said they were. As recently as of 2023, they allow consumers to get documentation and parts to fix tractors and farming equipment. This is a huge leap in the right to repair, but if Apple continues to allow their own products to be thrown away after a short amount of time, we will be reversing the entire reason why technology is so amazing. But what can you do? With what they have created, not much. I'm not asking you to boycott Apple, because I know you need a smartphone. Everyone does. When Apple's promise happens and your phone breaks itself, find the correct way to dispose of the phone through proper channels. That is the least average people can do with the limiting factors that Apple has put in place.